Hey, coming up right now, a passenger runs into a mile-high case of mistaken identity.
Also coming up, the major ups and downs shaking up the Weight Watchers executive suite.
And a little bit later on, comedian Ellen DeGeneres reveals a triple diagnosis that's making headlines.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am Mitch English. We're welcoming you to a Tuesday edition of Daily Flash. If you're not familiar, Tuesday's my favorite day of the week. That means we did a very special show for you today. It's a very special Daily Flash.
It's a special Daily Flash.
It's like a after-school special, if you will. But it's also featuring Matt Doolittle, who's also joining us for this little
Hi,
shindig.
Matty.
Hello. A little bit of somber news, though. I got to say, rest in peace to Drake Hogestyn. My mom knew him. You might know him as John Black from Days of Our Lives. He passed away, sadly, from cancer at the age of 70 last week. So my mom was friends with him, and Deirdre Hall and all that. The Days of Our Lives crew used to hang out together. So R.I.P. Drake.
Like sands in Hourglass.
Also, another R.I.P. news, Pete Rose passed away. Baseball legend Pete Rose. What's funny is a lot of people are bringing this up on social media. The fact that the Pete Rose story is being sponsored by online sports betting.
That's hilarious.
Right?
That is hilarious.
He got such a slide job from Major League Baseball over the years. It's so sad. I wish he would have been eligible for the Hall of Fame. He's perfectly fine. It's like all this stuff
Maybe
going on.
Maybe he will be posthumously.
Yeah, I hope so.
The thing is, he had a reality show for a while. I don't know if you watched that.
No.
I was born. All my family lives in the northern Kentucky area, and I was born there as well. So you're
Cincinnati,
you're a Reds fan, no matter what. And I met him at an airport one time. He was there. It had a small little crowd around him, but it kind of dispersed. I was like, well, I got to go up and talk to him, shake his hand at least. And I went up to him and said, hey, Mr. Rose, I said, what I just told him. He was extremely nice to me. He's like, hey, man, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. The airport, however, was Las Vegas, and so it's like betting. But
scene of the crime.
But here's the thing: it's betting, and I feel bad for him and the family too, because everybody wanted him back except for the suits up at MLB. So
and
I
he
think
bet on his own team to win.
Yes.
He didn't bet against him. He bet on him to win.
Exactly.
And I'm going to say there were probably worse things that happened behind the scenes with baseball players and management, but they never really surfaced or got the attention.
They would probably welcome the controversy now because baseball's popularity is slowly declining because it's a slow game. They're trying to make the game a little faster, quicker, and that sort of thing. I love baseball. Baseball is one of the games. If you just want to sit back and relax in the afternoon, go to a MLB game.
And you have to have a cold beer and a hot dog.
Absolutely.
I mean, no matter what, if you're going to the basebal field. Side hustles. Have you ever done a side hustle?
Speaking of Johnny Hustle, that's what they called P. Rose.
Oh, did they really? Johnny Hustle? Side hustle. Did you ever have one?
I would. I guess in our business, it's weird. So I guess so. Like websites. Remember, I used to do websites.
So the side hustle thing is coming back. And of course, with this looming port strike and discussions about what people are going to do for extra money, especially with inflation and the cost of everything, they're saying there are 3 side hustles you should really look into that you can do on your own spare time. Social media, selling stuff on social media. That's one thing. Marketplace, Facebook. If you got stuff that you want to get rid of, it's a perfect place to make some extra cash, right? Also Etsy. If you're crafty at all, Etsy's the place to go. I am not crafty. I would never go to Etsy.
I need some more Beastie Boys songs.
Yeah, there you go. And then freelance work online. If you're a writer, if you're a good editor, there are a number of websites that you can, sign on to that will allow you to do some editing or writing work.
Fiverr is one that pops in my mind right now. You guys, anybody ever used Fiverr before?
Yep.
Y'all?
Oh yeah.
It's neat because you just tell them what you want, and they have the set price and that sort of thing. And I've done it a couple times, and the process is very simple. But imagine it's your skill set that you could do really quick.
And if you got nice feet, your side hustle's pretty.
All right, that's true,
right?
That's,
you got to have good feet.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's an easy one.
I want to start thinking of another. You know what? I've also, on Amazon, they have streaming channels on this Amazon where it's people just talking, this new case is so great. And it's just them talking about it. And so you can make money that way as well.
The OnlyFans feet channel, apparently Matt is on, but he won't tell us what his screen name is.
I mean, foot hustle.
Did you get that bunion taken care of? Because I'm telling you, it's really...
I got a little bit of a snaggle
That's a thing for people, though. Some
You get the penguin feet.
I get the penguin feet. Oh, God. Oh,
right?
But
you know what's sad? There's probably an OnlyFans for people that like feet like the penguin on Max. Let's jump into the big show. Some trending stories. 24-year-old woman shocked to find herself now on the airline's no-fly list as she arrived for her flight. Imagine trying to check in. They go, no, you're not on this. Erin Wright was in trouble checking in, and that's when she asked American Airlines employee for help. Well, after the rep made a few phone calls, she had to tell the customer she had been banned from flying on American Airlines. Erin says that the airline told her that she was blacklisted for having a sexual relationship with a man on a flight while she was intoxicated.
Oh, my.
Wright told the customer relations person that wasn't her, and they got the wrong person. And it took 3 months before she actually got a final answer. The airline reviewed the case and determined that it most likely wasn't her, removed Erin from the no-fly list. And not that it makes it matter, but she says it on her thing. She's a lesbian. So she goes, I know I didn't have a sexual relationship, no matter how drunk I was.
We've all had those nights.
Well, that is true. And when you're flying over international waters, sometimes
doesn't count.
Your relationship
things get a little cloudy.
No pun intended, right?
Yeah, true. Oh man, how frustrating for that poor lady.
Well, yeah, and to show up, thinking I got to go, and imagine she had to make alternate plans.
Oh my goodness. Well, the CEO for Weight Watchers has called it quits after a tumultuous 2 years. Seema Sistani was pushing the 61-year-old company to buy a telehealth platform that connects patients with doctors who can prescribe obesity meds. Under her leadership, Weight Watchers acquired Sequence, which has since been rebranded as Weight Watchers Clinic. However, Weight Watchers shares have been in free fall, plummeting more than 90% this year. The stock is now trading below $1. Another blow to the company. Talk show host and Weight Watchers board member Oprah Winfrey left the company earlier this year after she started taking weight loss medications.
You know, and interesting that they're calling it clinics too, you know, which makes you feel like it's medicinal, like there's some kind of medicine. You know, a clinic can be anything. But, you know, with everybody moving towards Ozempic and these pills, these magic pills that they say you gain weight faster after you get off of them. And there's so many other issues that go along with it. I can understand the branding behind that because people think, well, I'm just going to need medical help. But even still, you think about the history, it seems like once they had Oprah, if that didn't do it, you know, really get the people to turn, it seems like you're on a downward trend, but it's an institution for sure.
I guess there's part of it's like we've discussed before. If you can't beat them, join them. You know, Ozempic is definitely a major player right now in the weight loss market. However, once people might realize that's not for them, where else do they have to go? At least Weight Watchers offers, or they, you know, and I'm sure they still do offer an eating program and a plan that's healthy and a lifestyle.
What's sad right now is my sister-in-law just had to deal with this with her boss. She's lost weight the normal way, you know, diet and exercise. And her boss goes, I know you're on Ozempic. I know you're on it. She's like, no, I'm doing the normal, like, actual how to, you know, work it off. And they're blaming people for that now.
Well, I mean, so I've had gastric bypass, and there was a time where it was shameful. It was kind of, I looked at, like, you didn't want to, remember Star Jones? Like, they kept on asking, remember all that? And now, it's not a big deal anymore. And I think, you know, now it's almost like reverse what you're saying, Matt, is like you do it the hard way. And again, it is, I wish I was able to do that, but I needed to change my lifestyle. And, people are now, they think, well, you must have had it. And that's the first thing they think. People will never want to see the good in sort of thing.
Ozempic shaming.
I can't tell you, the guy on, I wish I remember his name. My Name is Earl, the big guy that played the brother.
Oh,
and he was also in a lot of Kevin Smith movies and stuff. He has been working, you wouldn't recognize him.
Really?
Matter of fact, he was in a movie where he played this really big jack.
No
and
way.
I had no idea it was him. And he did it all by natural.
Ethan Suplee.
That's who it is. Yes. And if you saw him, you would know who he is because he was a big guy.
Now he's a bodybuilder.
Now he's a bodybuilder.
The other way.
Wow.
Good for him. I mean, it was really inspirational.
All I can think of is Chumley from Pawn Stars.
Oh, okay. He almost looked like him. I know you're talking about that, right? Well, they say that aging is no joke. You can even ask Ellen DeGeneres. The comedian has revealed that she has been diagnosed with osteoporosis, OCD, and ADHD. The 66-year-old Emmy winner said that she received those diagnoses after no one was feeling sorry for her. Well, I read that wrong. After she left her Emmy-winning talk show. The star learned that she was full-on osteoporosis after she took a bone density test. She also said she was also diagnosed with arthritis. DeGeneres said her obsessive-compulsive disorder and ADD diagnosis came from her therapist. She was accused of creating a toxic work environment fueled by by racism, fear, and intimidation, not by one person, not by two people,
everybody,
by a crew of people.
And guests
as well.
Yes.
And, I can understand there's a little bit, you're trying to run a show and you have to be, they say this is above and beyond that.
Yeah. I mean, I've known someone who was a guest on her show, and she said she was the worst human being she's ever encountered.
Her EP, the guy that she used to torture, came out afterwards. He's working on another show now and was like, she was the worst. Like, she would torture this poor guy.
I believe it.
And we can say in this business, it's somewhat karma. We don't wish ill on anybody, but I think osteoporosis. Hey everybody, welcome back to Daily Flash. Let's get you healthy out there. Could brain health lie in the choice of what you eat, either fish or red meat? Well, joining us now to talk about it is Hillary Brook. She's health correspondent for Business Insider. Hillary, thank you so much to join us. Why should vegetarians consider actually putting some fish into their diet, become pescatarians, or maybe feet, like meat, for optimal brain health, which apparently it sounds like I need one of those others. Why should they actually consider that?
So this is a really interesting study because there's been a lot of research into the benefits of eating plants, eating vegetables, and we know that generally vegetarian diets are pretty healthy if you stick to, the non-processed foods. But this study showed something a little interesting, a little extra wrinkle in there, that people who were in their 80s and above, who had a little bit of meat in their diet, tended to have some better cognitive health than the vegetarians. So there were slightly fewer strokes, less dementia, fewer cases of Parkinson's. So suggesting that at older ages, a little bit of meat helps.
And is it because of necessary vitamins? I'm just going to pull stuff out just because I'm not an expert, but things that fish oil have in it as far as keeping the brain going. Is it because the meat actually might contain that sort of thing?
Yeah, you are right on there. They're not exactly sure what's going on here. Again, this is observational, so they haven't gone inside people's brains and looked at what's in there. But exactly right. Omega-3 fatty acids, your brain needs those, EPA, DHA. And people can get them from plant sources, but, there's more in meat and fish and eggs and things like that.
Would you mind kind of expanding a little bit more about how the animal products actually specifically benefit cognitive function?
There's just more of those nutrients, those essential fatty acids in the meat and in eggs and in things like chicken or fish. And so you often hear, about the benefits of fatty fish like salmon. And that is really like fuel for your brain, basically.
Just ironically, this morning, I was talking to the camera guys and they go, you're not a true vegan or vegetarian unless you tell 20 people a day that you are for some reason. But, it seems like a balance of everything. It seems like if you go one way or another, you're always missing out. And I bring this up because I said, for a year, I'm going to stay off meat. And I found that I didn't have any energy, and come find out I needed the iron that had it in it. Did things like this, did it inspire you to kind of explore the relationship between the diet, especially through vegetarianism as well as brain health?
Yeah, well, this study was really interesting because, as you say, it's all about balance. And what they were studying here was Seventh-day Adventists. So these people, healthy food is kind of part of their religion.
Right.
And so even the meat eaters here, they weren't eating a bacon cheeseburger every day. It's some meat on their plate a few times a week, along with lots of salad, whole grains, vegetables. So to me, that's what makes it a really interesting study, because you're comparing different healthy diets with and without meat to say, it looks like, at older ages, above the age of 75, 80, that's really doing something beneficial for your brain.
It makes a lot of sense. And, in America, we always seem like we always go to extremes. If we say, if we don't need meat, then we just cut it all out altogether. And that's, I guess, not the solution. Let's talk about those blue zones. In the context of blue zones, where many people live long and healthy lives, how do you reconcile the benefits of plant-based diets with the idea that some animal products actually might be necessary for that brain health?
Yeah, well, the researcher I spoke to who conducted this study said he didn't really see any problem with being vegetarian when you're younger, if that's what you want to do, vegan, vegetarian, healthy diet. For a younger person who's able to really absorb those nutrients optimally from all the foods that they're eating. So it really was, his advice was, once you start reaching the age of like 70, 75, maybe start thinking about adding a little something. But, this is still in line with everything we know.
It's great health. It's great health news, Hillary, and we appreciate you doing some investigative work on that and Business Insider. And if you want more on this story, you can head over to businessinsider.com and you can check out Hillary as well as other great articles.
Mitch, thank you. The future of dating apps in New York won't just be an online experience anymore. The League, which claims to vet everyone who joins the app, is launching a series of in-person events as a key part of their service. The League markets itself as an exclusive dating app for smart, career-driven people. And at last stop before turning to a high-end matchmaker, users can pay anywhere from $300 to $2,500 a month to be a member here. The most expensive memberships include a personal concierge who helps create the perfect profile and choose your best photos.
When this first came out, so I was in the dating world when this app came out.
The League came out.
And they made it so elite. So I saw it and I was like, all right, I'll try it, whatever. And I was like on a waiting list and finally I got approved. So I got on there. I was like, all right, well, this is going to be great. And then they just start hitting you up with like, you really need a coach. So I was like, all right, I'll figure it out. Maybe there is something. Yeah, $300 a month. I'm like, I'm not paying $300 a month, but they're going after a specific crowd. That people that can afford $300 a month, all the way up to what we said, $1,500. Yeah. And there was specific things that you had to do, and it was also a little bit like I think the other apps where the woman would have to make the first connection, which I actually appreciated.
Sure.
If like I could send you a message, but I wouldn't know if you got it or not unless you responded back. So that sort of thing. But when they started talking prices and that sort of thing, I was like, well, there's just no way I'm going to do that. So I think they kind of downgraded me. Then I find out that these
downgraded.
I was probably downgraded like this.
You were on the C bench.
The cheapo guy that's not going to pay. We're not going to show him to the ladies. But then I found out any new app already starts off with we don't have to call it AI, but fake accounts, so that you see that you think that there's at least women on there. Because if you went through and didn't see any women, you're like, well, I'm not using this app.
Well, the whole Ashley Madison scandal. Did you watch that documentary?
Yes.
Most of those women were all bots.
Absolutely. But it kept guys on it because they think, well, this woman possibly. Who knows? We're doing some furry friends. You won't believe some of these stories Matt's got for us coming up.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I am Matt Doolittle, and welcome to your furry friends for this week. Now, guys, it's always sad when a pet gets lost, whether they get spooked, lost, stolen, or what is that? Oh, sorry, no, we don't need them. Anyway, it's sad when they get lost, but it's always a great story when they find their way home, and that's what happened here. Meet 2-year-old Rainbow. Get it? Rainbow. It'll make sense in a little bit. Well, Mr. Rainbow was visiting a campground in Yellowstone National Park with his people back in June. His person says they were trying to move him and his sister, Star, from their truck to their traveling trailer. But when she went to untangle the cat's leashes, Rainbow got loose and took off to the forest. They looked for him for 4 days before they had to return to their home in Salinas, California. Salinas. Okay. Just south of San Francisco. Now, his owner, Susan, says she saw a double rainbow. See, that's how it comes back.
Okay.
When they were entering the Nevada desert, and she said that it was a sign that Rainbow would be okay. But in August, she received word that Rainbow had been found skinny and a bit roughed up. He was spotted in Roosevelt, California, almost 900 miles from where he ran off in Yellowstone and about 200 miles from his owner's home. A woman noticed him, captured him, and was able to get his chip scanned. He was then reunited with his family and sister, and his owner said that they will put a pause on traveling with their cats. Because it's pause.
Nice, man.
It's a pun there. Now, this next story is, we all love squishy things, right? We love our squishy animals. And here's one with squishy cheeks all over. Well, how about when they're just one big squish? Meet walrus, I'm going to mess this name up, Quackuk.
Okay.
It's an Alaskan thing. The Pacific walrus was found on the beaches of northern Alaska, apparently abandoned by its herd. She was taken to the Alaska Sea Life Center and treated for malnourishment before it was determined that she wasn't able to be returned to the wild. She was then sent to SeaWorld Orlando because of their expertise in walruses and a rather large walrus herd. They're going to give her some time to get used to her southern home, and then she'll be able to meet guests. You know, not a bad gimmick when you just get lost and then you go from Alaska to Orlando, right?
Yeah.
You end up in
That's how I got here.
Yeah, you end up in fancy town. So that's your
Very
three friends
nice.
for the week. Let's do some Flash 5, guys.
Let's do Flash 5. Indeed, it is time now for our Flash 5. It's a chance for you to find out what the number one thing is. And this week, we're talking about music as in top selling albums. You can play at home. Now, the Recording Industry Association of America, or the RIAA, classifies an album as double diamond when it was just basically over 20 million albums or streaming equivalent units in it in the United States. So we need to find out who made the list. Now, as I show the audience, folks, here, the list from 6 to 10, Matt and Andrea will take the opportunity to write down their answer as to what they think number one will be. These are double diamonds. They've sold over 20 million. We're also going to have the control room and one of the camera guys. You guys are going to play along as well. You're welcome to play out at home. So as you write it down, the number one top selling album. Here's the bottom 5 of the double diamond albums. Number 10 is Crack Rear View by Hootie and the Blowfish. The greatest hits, they sold actually 22 million albums. Billy Joel's greatest hits, volume 1 and 2, released back in 1985, sold 23 million. Double Live, Garth Brooks, 98, 23 million units sold. Pink Floyd's The Wall in 1979 sold 23, and Led Zeppelin's self-titled album released in 1971 has sold 24 million. Now that was fun, but the name of the segment is called Flash 5. So here we go. Coming in at number 5, it's, believe it or not, the Beatles' White Album. It's actually called The Beatles. It was a self-titled album, but they just called it the White Album because guess what? It was just white. It sold 24 million units so far. Number 4, Hotel California by Eagles in 1976 has sold 26 million units. Let's see here. And then we go into number 3, which is AC/DC's Back in Black in 1980. It cashed in with 27 million units. Thriller at number 2 by Michael Jackson, 1982. It has sold 34 million units. Before we show number 1, this is actually very surprising because the number 1 album that has sold the most double diamonds, greatest hits from 1971 to 1975 by Eagles, sold in 1976, 38 million units. Now that was actually released before Hotel California was. Can you believe that? So that shows you how popular Eagles were. And by the way, if anybody ever calls them the Eagles, correct them as they will. It's just
like
Eagles.
the Daily Flash. It's just Daily Flash.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Very good. All right, let's see how you did. Find out from our crew. You picked Michael Jackson Thriller, which I thought as well when I first heard of it.
I went Gangster's Paradise by
Coolio.
I just thought it was up there. I mean, it was popular in my house.
Let's find out what the control room has to say. Control room, you guys, back it up a little. Purple Rain. No, I would have said that too. Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you, Taylor.
Taylor, not that. And then camera guys, your pick was?
Mine was The Wall. So
The Wall?
Right, The Wall.
It made the list, but not number 1.
How's a Weird Al not on there?
It's a good question, and you would think more like popular like Michael Jackson for sure, but you would think there would have been more
Elvis or Spice Girls or
Elvis. You would think
Elvis won that album alone.
By the way, Green Day, which we were talking about earlier, they just got their first double diamond.
Is Daily Flash with your hosts Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
In that one. Hey everybody, I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment. You won't get it anywhere else.
Listen,
only right here.
You can get often duplicate it, never replicate it at all, and it's probably for the best. Would you want two of me running around? We're all looking for our own spare Matt Doolittle. We have one.
I mean, it's pretty much like two of us running around sometimes.
It is scary. Matt and I, we have a little trip going to Miami this week, and we hung out in Miami before. You remember I left my wallet?
Mm-hmm.
I left it at the hotel room, and so we go out, and I was like, hey, what's up, Matt? And I go, hey, man, I
don't have
Well, we go to a really nice restaurant
you
first.
do.
Yeah, it was a proper date.
And I go, hey man, do you mind? Man's like, no. So we've been all over this country all together.
A couple states, they don't like us back.
They won't let us back at all.
Vegas,
I
baby,
can understand
Vegas.
that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up Vegas here. We all know the band Green Day.
Yeah.
They have a double diamond album called Dookie.
Yeah.
But we all know Green Day. And the lead singer of Green Day, Billy Joe Armstrong, well, he is from Oakland, California. And the Oakland Athletics have played their last major league game in Oakland. I don't feel sorry for California. They got plenty of teams.
Yeah, true.
It's interesting that they went to Vegas. Well, he gets up on stage, and when this all happens, Billy Joe Armstrong, he just rips the owner of the A's, which is John Fisher, just rips him up on stage and then says, I hate Las Vegas. It is the worst place in America, right?
Okay.
Well, people in Vegas, despite nobody actually being from Vegas, they just live in Vegas, they didn't like it. So first, one radio station says, man, that's not cool. We're banning all Green Day. We're not going to play Green Day anymore. Then the other radio stations say, yeah, you're right. Let's quit playing Green Day. So they're not playing Green Day in Las Vegas ever again.
Ever again.
Well, what they say.
Yeah.
Until everybody forgets about all this. And
Until they get a show with Cirque du Soleil and then it all changes.
Or there's a
right?
sphere.
So you have to be careful. I wonder, being, on tour and stuff, Vegas is a huge venue place, how that might have hurt you. But
With
then you think.
with the sphere.
The sphere.
The sphere.
The sphere.
But if you think about it, though, like as I said earlier, nobody's from Vegas.
No.
So if they went and played Vegas, everybody would be coming from other places to go see them anyway. Right? But it's not cool to do that.
I got a couple thoughts about this.
Okay.
First, it's this entertainment entitlement attitude. Like, we're better than everybody else. We know what's best. It's really
We've seen it,
irritating.
yeah.
We've seen it. We know. We'll tell you what to think. And I think people have finally been turned off by that. Macklemore did the same thing recently, saying, F America and this, that, and the other thing, and blah, blah, blah. So now people are refusing to play Macklemore on radio.
You can get him at a thrift shop
You
now.
can, yeah,
rip a tag
secondhand.
off of
You can rip a
Macklemore.
tag, pop tags and all that stuff. But I think you have to be really careful nowadays. I mean, you can be passionate about your team if you're from Oakland. I get it. You're upset that they're moving to Las Vegas, but to insult another city, I think people are just kind of over this.
But
whole
Oakland has had
anger.
all of their teams leave, and it's the overall ownership group up there.
Have you been to Oakland lately?
Oh no!
There's
why would
a
I go
reason
there?
why
It's
you
horrible.
want to live in
But the
Oakland.
Warriors moved over into San Francisco. The teams are moving to Vegas. The Raiders moved to Vegas. The baseball team's going to Vegas. So they're all bailing out of Oakland.
This reminds me of something how we put so much like on a city, like it's representative, and none of the players are from that city altogether, and they're the ones that represent it. It's interesting about that. And I think it all spurs from the political views. I don't give a rat's butt about what your political view is. I don't need to hear it. If that's what you think, all right, it's great. Don't make me feel like I'm stupid if I think differently of you, though.
Do you have a problem with George Clooney? Because now I kind of have a new idea because he's tainted because he's now involved himself so deeply in politics on one particular side. It's hard for me to watch. I just watched Wolves on Apple TV, and it was good, but I had a hard time watching him because I'm like, it really irritates me that I know your political point of view. I don't care whether it's right or left. I just don't want to know it. I just want to enjoy you as an entertainer.
You know who the smartest person of all time has been with that? Michael Jordan. You do not know who he contributes to. He does not speak about it. Buy his sneakers and have a nice day.
I will. I'm going to go buy me some sneakers. Actually, I'm going to buy me some Chuck Taylors for my birthday coming up.
Oh, yeah.
I really am. My kids ask me what I want. Hey, what do you think about all of this? How influenced are you by, say, performers, or maybe even by
good question. Politics. Do you want your entertainers talking about politics?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Head to our website. It's open right now. DailyFlashShow.com. We got some fun waiting for you on the other side.
Welcome back. Here's one food item for healthy living. Check it out.
Eggs are the secret weapon for getting a meal ready without sacrificing taste or nutrition.
Eggs provide high-quality protein, choline, and other essential nutrients. They're also a nutritious ingredient that can be used in a multitude of delicious ways, like in salads, sandwiches, or in baked dishes. According to the American Heart Association, healthy people can enjoy up to 7 eggs a week. They pair perfectly with fruits, veggies, and whole grains.
For more, visit heart.org/eatsmart.
Love Love it or buy it, we talk about it on Life Love Shopping. So let's dive right in. We start with this one. Your heart is the engine of your body, and a heart surgeon has racked up nearly 2 million views with his advice on the 4 bad habits you must avoid to maintain your health. Here's Dr. Jeremy London.
Things I avoid after 25 years as a heart surgeon. Smoking. Smoking directly injures the lining of blood vessels, increases the chance of atherosclerosis and blockages, and causes cancer. It's probably the single worst thing you can do for yourself. Mouthwash, specifically alcohol-based mouthwash. Our gut microbiome, or the good bacteria in our gut, begin in the mouth. So if you kill this bacteria, you can actually throw that out of balance. And interestingly, the bacteria in the mouth help produce nitric oxide, which helps regulate and control blood pressure. So by killing this bacteria, you can actually cause or worsen hypertension or high blood pressure. Limit or remove processed foods from your diet. You are what you eat. Literally, the protein, fats, and carbohydrates that you ingest give the energy and the building blocks to every single cell in your body. Be thoughtful about your nutritional plan. Alcohol. I hate to tell you, but even moderate alcohol use is in question. Why is that? Well, when we drink alcohol, it's broken down to acetaldehyde and acetate. Acetaldehyde is directly toxic to every single cell in the body, and acetate is just empty calories. Your body, your rules, your choice.
Are you ready for the latest annoying trend? It's called the airport tray aesthetic, and it could mean spending even more time in the TSA line. Here we go. Social media videos are capturing the aesthetic of the gray airport tray with neatly displayed items. Fashionistas are taking their time to neatly display all their belongings for the ultimate travel photo brag. The TSA is now aware of the trend with nearly 20 million posts featuring the time-consuming craze. Some are waiting to capture the display once they get through screening, but many don't mind taking their time while holding up the line before prior to pushing their tray through the X-ray machine. The latest beauty trend is taking a walk on the wild side. It's called the Moo Dang look, named after the popular VIP pygmy hippo taking social media by storm.
Inspired by the legend herself, Moo Dang. Why do you ask? Because she has everything. She has dewy skin, a great halo eye, and a zest for life. Is it pinpoint accurate? No, because there are no clear photos of her. It's all blurry, and I love it. I truly hope she knows the impact that she has on the world.
Influencers are trying to mimic the baby hippo's diva-like attitude with her sweet glow and moody halo eye. Even makeup retailer Sephora is getting in on the trend with hand-picked cosmetics. They're promoting the look dedicated to the Thailand hippo with a knack for throwing fits and nipping at the knees of her caretakers. All right, one last one for you here. Have you heard of fridge-scaping? It's the art of decorating the inside of your refrigerator, and now health experts are warning that it could be harmful to your food. Fridge-scaping has taken on a new life on social media. Influencers are showing off how they decorate the inside of their fridge as if it were a room in their home, different than keeping your chilled items organized or color-coded. Health experts say it could cause bacteria. We're back right after this.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Well, building a home that's safe, sustainable, and resilient is a top priority for homeowners. Today, we're joined by an expert who excels in making those homes a reality, Matt Blashaw. He's a former host on the DIY Network and HGTV's Yard Crashers and Build It Forward. Welcome, Matt.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So what makes a home safe, sustainable, and resilient?
Well, let's start with how we power a home, right? Propane, it's a clean energy that works efficiently with a home in the systems like heating, cooking, and power generation. Right now, we are on the beautiful Kiowa River just south of Charleston, and this home would not be possible without the power of propane. It's an essential part of building a safe home that stands strong even during the toughest situations. It has an on-site propane tank, 1,000 gallons buried right in the ground, so you'll never even know it's there. So it gains energy independence. Propane-powered appliances, they last longer, they work more efficiently, and they protect your family and most importantly, the environment.
So how does the way we power a home impact the environment?
So propane is a low carbon energy source. It emits fewer greenhouse gases and harmful pollutants and helps reduce our overall carbon footprint. And it produces up to 52% fewer greenhouse gas emissions than the average U.S. electric grid, because more than 60% of the grid, it's still powered by coal, natural gas, or oil. So that produces poor air quality. And right now we are in a very eco-sensitive area. So in the rare case of a leak, it will not contaminate the soil or water, so really it's a safer environmental option.
Where can we go for more info?
Definitely go to propane.com/formyhome and see what the power of propane can do for you.
Thanks, Matt. We'll make sure we have this on our website at dailyflashshow.com.
Thank you there, Matt. And Matt, a new FDA-approved needle-free treatment for people with severe allergies actually is now available in the United States. I'm excited about this. And joining us now is Dr. Thomas Casal. Doctor, let me ask you, is there a major cause and actually symptom of a type 1 allergic reactions?
Well, the major things that we see that send people to the emergency room or give them a severe reaction would be foods, insect stings, medications, and in rare cases, exercise. There's almost 34 million people in the U.S. that are thought to have food allergies, and that drives about 500,000 ED visits a year.
All right, well, let's talk about the importance of actually treating severe allergic reactions quickly. How important is that?
Well, the faster you treat, the better the outcome. We know that, unfortunately, some people have a very severe reaction, require hospitalization, in rare cases, even a fatality. And the quicker you treat with epinephrine, the better the outcome, the less likely that you're going to have to go to the emergency room or have any significant side effects from the allergic reaction.
And give our viewers what it actually means that this new option for patients and their caregivers. What does that mean to them?
Well, I think, we know that, again, epinephrine is the drug of choice, but oftentimes either patients or caregivers are reluctant to use a needle. And this is a needle-free option. It's the same device that is used for opiate overdoses with Narcan. So very simple to use. You just spray once into one of the nostrils, and you get the same epinephrine levels as you do when you inject with an auto-injector.
Folks want to find out more info, where do they go?
Well, they could ask their healthcare provider or can certainly go to the website neffy.com, Neffy. Neffy is the name of the new product, and it is available now by prescription.
Thank you, Doc. I know this could help out a lot of people, and we appreciate you joining us. We'll make sure that we post this full interview on our website, dailyflashshow.com.
With so many changes when it comes to online connection, one company is offering reliable internet service. Here's more.
The Affordable Connectivity Program, a government-sponsored program that provided internet access to low-income households, ended this past June. But Verizon's commitment to keeping you connected has not. Verizon Forward gives eligible customers access to fast, reliable speeds of Verizon Home Internet at an affordable price, as low as $20 a month. Stream, search, and work from home, all while enjoying the everyday perks of being a Verizon Home Internet customer, like no data caps, annual contracts, or equipment charges. For a limited time, eligible customers can get Verizon Home Internet for as low as $0 a month for 6 months. New or existing qualifying customers can enroll following these 3 steps. Pick your plan, check your eligibility, and start saving. The Verizon Forward discount may be combined with certain other discounts, such as AutoPay, Mobile and Home Discount, Lifeline, Military, and Veterans Discount. See if you qualify to save with Verizon Forward at verizon.com/Verizon Forward.
All right, of course, October is National Seafood Month because it's my birthday month and we all love seafood. It's also the perfect time to put the spotlight on our health and the health of our oceans, as well as the role played by sustainable seafood. Joining us right now is Teresa Ish. She's oceans and environment expert with the Walton Family Foundation. Thank you, Teresa, for joining us. Let's talk about it. Why does sustainable seafood matter to us?
Well, I'm so excited to be here with you to kick off National Seafood Month. It's a great time to consider what it means to eat sustainably. And when most of us think about the food we eat, we think about a farmer on a tractor.
Yeah.
But fishermen are vital to our food systems. And so sustainable seafood helps us support fishing communities and also help support a healthy ocean.
And something that we need. Most of the earth is ocean. So if you think about that, how important it is, that's a great thing to say. But consumers, how can they know they're actually purchasing sustainable seafood when they go to the grocery store?
Well, all around the world, we eat one species of chicken, but there are 2,500 different kinds of seafood that people eat. So no matter what kind of tastes you like or what your budget is, there's a sustainable seafood option for you. And fortunately, when you go into most grocery stores in the US, sustainable seafood is available. All you have to do is look for a certification or a label that tells you that the product is sustainable. And if the store doesn't have that information, you can ask what they're doing to support a healthy ocean and responsible fishermen. And you'll be surprised, most of these stores will already have made a commitment to buy and sell sustainable seafood.
And it's just, you don't have to worry about the healthiness of it because you know that it's sustainable, it's coming from a great place. Folks want to find out more information about this, Teresa, where can they go?
To learn more about sustainable seafood and its impact on the ocean, you can visit waltonfamilyfoundation.org.
I love it. I'm going to eat me some seafood for tonight. You convinced me, so I appreciate that. If you want to get that link, as well as this interview and so much more, you can find it on our website at dailyflashshow.com. You actually can go there right now.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Two criminal twins, one trying to reform, head out on a dangerous road trip for the ultimate heist. They come up against legal troubles, gunfights, and family drama. This is today's must-watch movie, Brothers.
Where are my emeralds? What's the holdup?
Making arrangements.
Some families have a long line of dentists or lawyers. We had a long line of felons. That's me. The big ugly one is my twin brother, Moke. I had the plans, he had the hands.
Freeze! Go! We just bought a house where we're having a kid.
Bro, come on.
I am finished stealing.
Let's do this one and split.
I have to take it down.
1, 2, 3,
Dracula. We can go 2 out of 3 if you want.
Get on the floor.
I just feel like Wolfman would beat out Dracula.
Wolfman's once a month. Dracula is all the time. Use your head.
This is a new beginning, huh? Can we have some private time? What's wrong with you?
Mom?
Oh, he dented the car!
You were gone 30 years.
I can apologize only so much.
You haven't apologized at all. Why are you back now?
The emeralds, worth about $4 million. I got a plan. What it takes out of us.
Terrible plan.
Suck on my balls!
Hey! Don't make me come back there! I am justice!
Whoa, wow. Big stars in that. I haven't seen orangutan since Every Which Way But Loose with Clint Eastwood, right?
I didn't think you were allowed to have those in movies
I don't think
anymore.
you are. I don't think it's a good idea. Thank you all for joining us.
Be good, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.